When truth hits harder than loss, sometimes life hits you with a truth that doesn't just hurt your heart, it shakes your whole being. A truth that makes you question everything you thought was steady. Let me tell you something, truth can break you in ways silence never will. Think about when someone you trusted showed a side you never imagined, or when life exposed something you weren't ready to face. It feels heavier than loss because loss ends something, but truth forces you to look at what was real all along. But here's what matters. That truth is not there to crush you. It's there to wake you up. It's there to show you the world as it is, not as you hoped it would be. Truth may hit hard, but it also clears the path you were too afraid to walk. Moment your world shakes and you have to choose how to stand, there comes a moment when everything you rely on shifts under your feet. A moment when life feels like it threw your world against the wall. You didn't ask for it, but it still came. And in that moment, you have a choice. Do you stay on the ground, or do you rise with a different kind of strength? Ordinary people go through days when they learn something that knocks the air out of them, like losing a job they depended on, or finding out someone they trusted wasn't who they seemed. The ground shakes and nothing feels steady. But here's the truth. You can't control the shake, but you can control your stance. You can plant your feet, breathe, and remind yourself that you've survived storms before. Standing doesn't mean you don't feel the pain. Standing means you refuse to let the pain control your path. Strength isn't built in peace. It's built in the breaking. People love the idea of strength, but they don't always understand where it comes from. Strength doesn't grow in calm days. It grows when life cracks you open. Look at anyone who made it through a tough season, someone who rebuilt after losing everything, someone who found their voice after years of staying quiet. Their strength didn't appear in comfort. It was shaped in the nights they cried, in the mornings they still got up, in the times they didn't think they could go on but did anyway. Breaking teaches you what peace never will. It teaches you who you are when everything is stripped away. It teaches you how much you can handle when you have nothing left but your will. If life is breaking you right now, don't assume it's the end. Many people rise strongest from the same places they once fell apart. Every truth is a door. Will you walk through it? Truth doesn't just arrive. It invites you to change. It stands like a door in front of you, waiting for you to step through. But stepping through requires courage. Some people learn painful truths about their relationships, their habits, or their own patterns, but they stay where they are because the door feels scary. They stay even when their heart knows it's time to move. But every truth is a chance to start again. Think about someone who finally faced the truth about their health and decided to turn their life around. Or someone who faced the truth about a toxic connection and chose peace over pain. The door was there all along. They just finally walked through it. You have a door in front of you too. The question isn't whether the truth is difficult. The question is whether you're brave enough to step into the life it's trying to lead you toward. The blow you never saw coming. There are moments in life that feel like someone pulled the ground out from under you. No warning, no preparation, no gentle transition, just impact. A blow you never saw coming. It's the kind of moment that freezes you in place, your mind scrambling to process what just happened while your heart tries to catch up. Shock hits first, then disbelief, then the slow burn of anger and confusion. And even if you try to stay calm, the truth is that being blindsided hurts in a way few things do. It shakes your confidence, challenges your understanding of people, and forces you to confront a version of reality you didn't want to believe existed. But that emotional collision also reveals something. Life doesn't always give you signs. Sometimes it just hits you hard enough to wake you up. And that moment, painful as it is, becomes the start of a new clarity you didn't know you needed. When your world flips like a table, Life has this ruthless way of flipping everything upside down in an instant. 1 minute, everything feels stable, your plans, your relationships, your expectations lined up neatly like items on a table. Then, without permission, life grabs the edges and flips it. Suddenly, everything you thought was secure is crashing to the floor. The noise is loud. The mess is overwhelming. Your mind races to pick up pieces that don't even fit together anymore. That's what reality feels like when it shifts without warning. It's disorienting, it's unfair, and it forces you to question everything you believed was solid. But here's the truth. The table doesn't flip because you're weak. It flips because life is unpredictable. And while you may not be able to stop the chaos, you can learn to stand in it without losing yourself. Sometimes the mess isn't the mistake. Sometimes it's the moment that forces you to rebuild with more honesty than you ever used before. You didn't ask for the storm, but you decide if you sink. No one asks for heartbreak, betrayal, failure, or sudden loss. Storms arrive without checking your schedule or your emotional readiness. They hit hard, drenching you in confusion and hurt. And while it's natural to feel overwhelmed, it's dangerous to believe you're powerless. You didn't ask for the storm, but you still hold the choice that matters most: sink or rise. That choice doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happens in the small decisions you make every day afterward. Do you replay the pain, or do you start rebuilding? Do you let the storm define you, or do you define what comes next? Tough. Love says this: life doesn't owe you calm seas, but you owe yourself the courage to keep swimming. Storms don't decide your future, your response does. And even if you feel like you're barely keeping your head above water, every breath is proof that you're still in the fight. The moment that breaks you or wakes you, there's a moment in every struggle where everything stops: your breath, your certainty, your sense of direction. It feels like something inside you has cracked wide open. That moment can break you if you let it convince you that life is only pain. But it can wake you if you realize that pain is often the first signal that something needs to change. When reality shatters, it reveals truth. It forces honesty. It strips away illusions. And in that raw, exposed space, you get to choose what comes next. You can stay collapsed under the weight of the moment, or you can rise with a new understanding of who you are and what you will never tolerate again. Awakening doesn't happen in comfort, it happens in the breaking. And the moment you decide to stand, even shaking, even unsure, is the moment you begin rewriting everything. Stop giving your power away, start trusting yourself. One of the biggest mistakes people make is giving everyone else more authority over their life than they give themselves. You hand out your power through doubt, through hesitation, through the belief that someone else knows better than you do. You let people sway your decisions, shape your identity, and influence your peace. And the dangerous part? You don't even notice it happening. But here's the truth. Every time you ignore your instincts, you weaken your own ability to lead your life. Trusting yourself doesn't mean you never need advice. It means you don't abandon your own judgment to please others. It means honoring your boundaries, your intuition, and your values, even when the world pushes against them. You reclaim your power the moment you realize it was never lost. It was simply given away piece by piece. And now, piece by piece, you take it back. Because no one should have more control over your choices than you do. Trust yourself first, not because others are untrustworthy, but because your life is your responsibility. Your inner voice isn't quiet. You just stop listening. Deep down, you always know. Maybe not the details, maybe not the full explanation, but there's always a whisper inside you trying to guide you. The problem is never that your inner voice is silent. It's that you've trained yourself to tune it out. You silence it because the truth is uncomfortable. You bury it because the signs are inconvenient. You override it because believing The best in someone feels easier than accepting what their behavior is telling you. But ignoring your inner voice doesn't erase the truth. It only delays the consequences. That voice exists for a reason, to protect you, to steer you, to alert you when something feels off. And the more you dismiss it, the weaker your self-trust becomes. Start listening again. Not to your fears, but to your clarity. Not to assumptions, but to patterns. Your inner voice isn't trying to scare you, it's trying to save you from walking down roads you already know lead to pain. Your intuition is the alarm system you keep silencing. Think of your intuition as a built-in alarm system, one designed to alert you when something isn't right. It doesn't yell, it doesn't panic. It gives subtle signals, small warnings, gentle nudges. But every time you silence it, you disarm your own protection. You ignore red flags because you want to believe in someone's potential. You overlook inconsistencies because you don't want to seem dramatic. You tell yourself you're overthinking when your intuition is simply doing its job. And the consequences? You leave yourself wide open to disappointment, manipulation, or betrayal. But imagine what changes when you treat your intuition as real, valid, and necessary. You notice patterns sooner. You set boundaries earlier. You walk away faster. You don't wait for proof to become pain. Intuition isn't magic. It's memory, observation, and self-respect working together. It's your mind and heart saying, "We've seen enough. Pay attention." When you honor that alarm system, you protect your future from repeating your past. Self-trust changes everything: fear, betrayal, and your future. Self-trust is the foundation that transforms how you live, how you love, and how you recover. When you trust yourself, fear loses its grip because you know you can handle whatever comes. Betrayal hurts, but it doesn't destroy you because your identity isn't built on someone else's loyalty. And your future becomes clearer because you stop making choices based on pressure, guilt, or insecurity. You start making decisions from strength. Self-trust changes everything, not by eliminating problems, but by changing how you respond to them. You stop overthinking every move because you know you'll adjust if needed. You stop tolerating disrespect because you believe you deserve better. You stop fearing endings because you trust your ability to rebuild. When you trust yourself, life doesn't feel like something happening to you. It feels like something happening with you, something you can shape, direct, and rise above. Trust yourself first and watch how every part of your life aligns with that one powerful decision, the pain that breaks. You is the pain that shows you the truth. Some pain doesn't just hurt, it exposes everything. It rips away the illusions you held on to, the excuses you made, and the lies you wanted to believe. Pain has a way of forcing honesty into places you tried to keep comfortable. It shakes your assumptions, challenges your expectations, and brings every hidden truth to the surface. The pain that breaks you isn't always punishment. Sometimes it's revelation. It's the moment you finally see someone for who they are, not who you hoped they'd be. It's the moment you realize how long you've been carrying something that was never meant for you. It's the moment your denial collapses and your clarity rises. Breaking hurts, yes, but it also uncovers the truth you needed to move forward. And once you've seen the truth, you can't unsee it. Pain doesn't just change you, it teaches you. And sometimes it's the only thing strong enough to pull you out of the lie you were living. Face what hurts because avoiding it hurts more. Avoiding pain feels easier in the moment. You distract yourself, numb yourself, convince yourself you're fine. But avoidance doesn't heal anything, it only postpones the crash. The truth is simple. What you refuse to face will eventually force you to. Pain grows in the dark. It becomes heavier, sharper, more complicated the longer you hide from it. The conversations you avoid, the boundaries you won't set, the wounds you pretend don't exist, all of them keep you stuck. Healing begins the moment you stop running. Facing what hurts doesn't make you weak, it makes you free. You don't overcome pain by pretending it isn't real. You overcome it by acknowledging it, feeling it, and learning from it. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's scary. But the only thing worse than confronting your pain is letting it own your life from the shadows. When you face it, you take your power back. When you avoid it, you give your power away. Pain is a mirror, and it won't stop reflecting until you look. Pain is not just an emotion, it's a message. It's a mirror reflecting the parts of your life you've ignored, neglected, or misunderstood. And the thing about mirrors is they don't stop showing you the truth just because you refuse to look. When something hurts repeatedly, it's not random, it's a sign. A sign that something needs to change. A sign that you're betraying yourself somewhere. A sign that you've stayed too long in a place that doesn't honor you. Pain reflects your patterns. It shows you where your boundaries need strengthening. It reveals what triggers you, what scares you, and what you still need to heal. And the longer you look away, the louder the reflection becomes. Pain isn't trying to break you, it's trying to wake you up. When you finally turn toward the mirror, you don't just see the hurt, you see the truth behind it. And once you understand the truth, you can finally change the story. You can fall apart, but you cannot stay down. Falling apart doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. You can break, cry, collapse, and feel like the world is too heavy to hold. You're allowed that. You're allowed the shaky breath, the sleepless nights, the messy emotions. You're allowed to crumble. But what you're not allowed to do is stay down. Staying down means surrendering your future to your past. Staying down means letting pain win. And you're not here to quit, you're here to rise. Your strength isn't measured by how much you avoid breaking, but by how many times you stand back up after you do. Every comeback starts with a decision. Not here, not like this. You don't have to rise perfectly. You just have to rise. One small movement, one shift in mindset, one step forward. Falling apart is temporary. Rising is a choice. And the moment you decide to get back up, everything changes. Your story shifts from defeat to resilience. The red flags you ignored are the lessons you needed. Red flags rarely come out of nowhere. They show up early, subtle, soft, easy to brush away. And most of the time, you do brush them away. You explain them, justify them, excuse them. Not because you're foolish, but because you want to believe in the good. You want to avoid conflict. You want to protect the story you told yourself. But every ignored red flag becomes a lesson life refuses to let you skip. The truth is, the signs were there. The discomfort was there. The doubt in your chest was there. But you weren't ready to accept what those signs were trying to tell you. Now you know better. Now you see how costly silence can be, and those red flags, you needed them. They taught you what manipulation looks like, what inconsistency feels like, what self-betrayal costs. Lessons don't always come gently. Sometimes they come wrapped in disappointment. But once learned, they change everything about who you allow into your life next. Illusion or truth, which life are you choosing? Every person reaches a point where they must choose. Live in the illusion because it feels safe, or face the truth because it sets you free. Illusion is tempting. It allows you to pretend everything is fine, to believe people's words instead of their actions, to avoid the painful reality that something isn't working. Truth, on the other hand, demands courage. It demands accountability. It demands that you let go of the comfort you built on false foundations. But the longer you cling to an illusion, the more shattered you become when it falls apart. Truth may hurt, but it heals. Illusion feels good, but it traps you. At some point, you must ask yourself, do you want temporary comfort or lasting clarity? Do you want the version of life you've imagined, or the one that will actually set you free? Choosing truth isn't easy, but it's the only choice that leads to real peace. A life built on lies will always collapse. Nothing strong is ever built on a weak foundation, and nothing lasting is ever built on lies. Whether those lies come from others or from yourself, they create cracks that eventually break wide open. You can pretend things are okay. You can defend the person hurting you. You can convince yourself to stay where you don't belong. But lies erode stability. They destroy trust. They poison peace. Sooner or later, the truth demands its place. And when it does, everything built on deception begins to crumble. But collapse isn't failure, it's revelation. It's life clearing away what was never meant to hold you. When the lies fall apart, you're left with something priceless. The opportunity to rebuild with honesty. To create something real. Something steady. Something you don't have to question or defend. A collapsed life isn't the end. It's the moment you finally get to build a future that won't betray you. Rebuild with honesty, boundaries, and courage once the illusions fall and the truth stands in front of you. Rebuilding becomes your responsibility. Not perfectly, not quickly, but intentionally. Rebuilding starts with honesty, being truthful about what happened, what you tolerated, and what you'll never accept again. Then come boundaries, the lines you draw to protect your energy, self-worth, and peace. Boundaries aren't walls. They are gates that allow in what aligns and keep out what harms. And finally, courage. Courage to trust yourself again. Courage to walk away from old patterns. Courage to build a life that reflects your worth, not your wounds. Rebuilding isn't easy. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a deep commitment to honoring the lessons that pain taught you. But every step you take away from the past is a step toward the life you were meant to live. When everything falls apart, you get to decide what rises when life collapses around you. It's easy to feel like everything is lost. The plans you made, the stability you depended on, the people you trusted, all of it suddenly feels shattered. But in that rubble lies a truth most people overlook. When everything falls apart, you get to choose what rises from the pieces. You get to decide what stays, what ends, what begins, and what transforms. Falling apart isn't just destruction, it's liberation. It frees you from the things you would have never had the strength to walk away from on your own. It clears the space you needed to rebuild with purpose. You don't rise by pretending the fall didn't happen. You rise by acknowledging it, by learning from it, by using it as fuel. The collapse wasn't your ending. It was your crossroads. And the power is in your hands now, not to fix the old, but to build the new. Start with one breath, one step, one decision. Healing doesn't begin with huge leaps. It begins with something simple, something small, something you can manage even when everything feels overwhelming. One breath, one step, one decision. That's all you need to start changing your life. People think rebuilding requires instant strength, but what it really requires is consistency. You don't have to know the entire path. You just need enough courage to take the next step. One honest breath to calm your mind. One small action to move forward. One decision that aligns with who you want to become, not who you used to be. And when the world feels too heavy, remember, you're not rebuilding your life in one moment. You're rebuilding it through thousands of tiny choices that accumulate into transformation. Slow progress is still progress. Fragile steps are still steps. And every moment you choose growth over fear, you reclaim a piece of your power. Rewrite, reclaim, reset, rebuild. Your new identity starts here. The moment you decide to rise, you begin rewriting your story. Not the story someone else forced on you. Not the version of you that tolerated pain or ignored red flags. The story of who you choose to be now. Rewrite the narrative. Reclaim the parts of yourself you lost while trying to hold everything together. Reset the patterns that kept you stuck. Rebuild the foundation of your life with strength, honesty, and self-respect. Reinvention is not pretending to be someone new, it's returning to the version of yourself you were always meant to be. Your new identity starts with the truths you accept, the boundaries you set, and the courage you choose each day. You're not starting over as a weaker version of yourself. You're starting again as someone wiser, someone braver, someone who refuses to settle for less than what aligns with their purpose. Stand up and build. Again, your future depends on it. Your future isn't something that just happens. It's something you build. And even if the past tore things apart, the responsibility to rise belongs to you alone. Standing back up doesn't mean you're fully healed. It means you're choosing forward motion over stagnation. It means you're refusing to let the story end in the middle of the chapter. You rebuild not because it's easy, but because your future deserves more than your past destroyed. Every dream you still carry, every goal you haven't reached, every part of you that wants better, they're all waiting for you to stand. Strength isn't found in never falling. Strength is found in rising when staying down would be easier. Build again. Not fast, but faithfully. Not perfectly, but intentionally. Your future is shaped by every brave step you take from this moment on. Awareness is your armor. Use it before the world uses you. Awareness is protection. It's the shield that guards you from repeating old mistakes, trusting the wrong people, or walking blindly into situations that drain your spirit. When you're aware, you don't fall for the same patterns. You don't give the wrong people easy access to your life. You don't misinterpret red flags as potential. Awareness is your armor, but only if you use it. The world is full of people who will take advantage of your blindness, your innocence, or your unwillingness to see the truth. But when you stay awake, when you pay attention, when you trust what you observe, you protect yourself without having to fight every battle. Awareness gives you clarity. Clarity gives you power. Light the candle. Stop walking blind through your life. Walking through life without awareness is like stumbling through a dark room, hoping not to hit a wall. Light the candle. Illuminate the path. See what's really in front of you instead of hoping it's something better. When you bring light to your life through reflection, honesty, accountability, you stop guessing and start knowing. You stop wishing and start seeing. You gain the vision you need to avoid what hurts and move toward what heals. Light exposes truth, and truth guides you. See patterns, set boundaries. Protect your energy patterns. Tell the truth faster than words do. When you pay attention to behavior, not promises, you gain the power to protect yourself. Boundaries then become your filter. What gets in, what stays out, what is no longer allowed to influence your peace. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's essential. Your energy determines your direction, and when your direction is clear, your life changes. The truth you learn today saves you tomorrow. Every truth you uncover today becomes armor for tomorrow. What you learn from pain, disappointment, or betrayal becomes wisdom that prevents future wounds. Truth is the one investment that always pays you back. The more you learn, the safer you are. The safer you are, the stronger you stand. Today's awareness becomes tomorrow's protection. You are still here, and that means you're not finished yet. You're still standing. Maybe shaken, maybe tired, maybe different, but still here. And that alone is proof that your story isn't over. Survival means possibility. It means there's more ahead for you than what's behind you. You're not done becoming who you're meant to be. Do not let the breaking become your identity. Your pain is part of your story, but it's not the whole story. Don't wear your breaking like a label. Don't let it define you. You are allowed to heal, evolve, rise, and become someone stronger than the version who was hurt. Trust yourself. Build yourself. Rise again. Everything changes when you trust your own strength. When you believe in your ability to rebuild. When you decide that rising is your only option. Trust yourself enough to take the next step. Build yourself piece by piece. Rise again because you can. Stand up and take your life back starting now. Your life is your responsibility and your opportunity. Stand up, reclaim your time, your mind, your heart, your direction. Take back what pain tried to steal. This is your moment to rise, not someday, not eventually now.